What's up, boys and girls? Welcome back to Expression Culture, here with me, Gareth, Honda Guru. I'm at my second home at the moment, Dynodaze. So today we're having the Coilovers, Tein Coilovers Street Basis Z, I think they are, fitted by the good man Richard. I'll show you what we've got. So these are the Coilovers, all brand new. Yeah, Street Basis Z, I think they are. Hardrace mounts, Eibach camber bolts. Richard doesn't like the side skirts, can't get on the ramp. Right, boys and girls, we've made it back from Dynodaze after having the Tein Street Basis Z coilovers fitted. The ride is so much better than before. They're not bouncy at all, which is quite impressive for a entry-level coilover. Don't get me wrong, these aren't like, you know, your couple £100 eBay jobbies. These are still Japanese built, high quality items. They just only the only adjustment they have is the ride height, so they don't have dampening adjustment, camber adjustment, bits like that. But these are still well over £500, so they're not a cheap item at all. I could have gone for the Flex Z, which were another couple £100. But for the difference you get in them, I didn't hugely see the point, because I don't think any of them are adjustable at the rear, being that the fact that this doesn't have independent rear suspension like a lot of modern cars nowadays. So yeah, that was kind of like, I wasn't going to invest more money into it because I wasn't going to get that out of it. There is obviously a difference between the Street Basis Z and the Flex Z. I think it's Flex Z anyway. The next model up, I think they're £700 odd. So yeah, it's another couple £100. I think there's a slightly different like tube design or dampening design. But yeah, I wasn't going to do that. So I'm quite happy, and I'm glad I didn't, because I'm really happy with the ride quality compared to the Tein. They call them a really stupid name, Hypermax Luxury Master, I think they're called. They're the bronze ones rather than the green. I think the green ones are something like S Street or S Max, something like that. The green ones are much better. Now, bear in mind that this shares the same front suspension as the GK Jazz and the GE Jazz, and you can get those springs for the Jazz, which is strange. And the rear axle is very similar as well. Slightly different hub assemblies, because obviously the CRZ being 5-stud. But yeah, it's fundamentally the same suspension. So I'm not sure why that is. I can only imagine maybe the dampers are spec'd slightly different for the CRZ, and the green ones I think lower a little bit more as well. So maybe the sort of maybe the shocks can't sort of handle that level of travel. It's probably something like that. But yeah, they're far too soft for me. Don't get me wrong, the sort of up and down movement you'd normally sort of expect from a lowering spring is fine, and they do handle well. They're just not as firm as I'd like. So sort of when you go into a corner hard, you still got quite a lot of body roll. Wasn't really what I wanted. I bought Tein just because it's a familiar brand. I've had Tein springs on a lot of cars in the past, and I've fitted them to a lot of my friends' cars. But I'm really happy with the product. The only issue we had is, and this is my issue, when Richard came out and asked what sort of ride height do you want it at, he'd already set the rears at its lowest, and I come out and I was like, wow, that looks excellent, let's keep it like that. And the front, bloody wind, the front was a little bit higher, so he brought the sort of front down a little bit to match it, but it still wasn't quite level. Like, the car still looked a little bit higher at the front, which is, in this situation, was actually a good thing, because as soon as I took it down the road and I got my fat ass in it, the rear bumper where it mounts to the quarter panel rubbed hard on the tyre. So Richard, being the gentleman he is, wasn't happy about it, don't get me wrong. He brought the suspension up a little bit on the rear, but it still rubs. So yeah, just where the bumper meets the quarter panel, there's a mounting tab with a fairly large screw in it actually. Although the screw is flat, it's quite a large surface diameter. That's just rubbing. At the moment it's only rubbing on my side because once my fat ass gets in it, but I haven't tried it with a passenger yet. So yeah, I've got a bit of fine tuning to do to the suspension to get it exactly right, so it's going to be, you know, drivable, because this car is not a stance car. It's you know, like I've always said, it's not a fast car either. It's my grip car. I do like to enjoy it in the corners and stuff like that. Just going to show you what it looks like now, and I think you'll agree that looks fucking fantastic. The ride height is spot on. It's so flush. Obviously we've had camber bolts fitted as well. I've done Hardrace reinforced bushes on the top and of the front struts, and the solid billet washers that go in the rear at the top as well. It just looks fantastic, it really does, and I kind of don't want to change it because it looks so fucking good, as you'll see. But it's just here it catches, and it's mainly, you can sort of see on the tyre, it's sort of just been rubbing on it, not badly, but I don't know if you can sort of see there. It's just there's a screw here. It just needs sort of shaving back a little bit. This is all flat mainly, sort of here it needs trimming. So anyway, boys and girls, thank you very much for joining in. Hope you've enjoyed that video. I know it's not the most informal, but yeah, I really like the product. I do recommend it for the CRZ. Much better over the lowering springs. And obviously we've renewed everything. We've got new shocks all round as well with part of the coilover kit, and obviously new bushes from Hardrace. Oh, not to forget the camber bolts. Eibach camber bolts. Danny supplied these to me from Dynodaze back to when he first started talking to me, and I fitted a pair to the Jazz, my old Jazz, when I fitted the lowering springs and the Hardrace anti-roll bars, anti-roll bar links, and I never made a video on that, and so I've never really had the opportunity to thank him. So I just want to say thank you, Danny, for those Eibach camber bolts. So he supplied me with two. You're free of charge. It's just, you know, I like your videos. Make a video on these, and I've not really made a video on these, and I do really apologise. I mean, you've seen them in its box in this video at least, and they are fitted to the vehicle, and it has brought the camber out at the front very nicely, so thank you very much. Obviously this car needs to now go for an alignment, which I'll get sorted at my work, I should think, because we've obviously got wheel alignment machines at work. But yeah, I am very happy with it. Danny at Dynodaze also supplied these parts. Danny at Dynodaze supplied the coilovers. I did purchase them from him, but obviously he gave me a discount, being that he sponsors me. But these are available on his website, so if you go to Dynodaze Performance Parts, you'll be able to buy your own set. They're very good. If you want the Flex Z, he also lists them, as well as other coilover brands. I think he also supplies Yellow Speed, BC. I'm not sure about Meister R, but yeah, pop onto his website and you'll be able to find a list of parts for CRZs and other cars as well. So he doesn't just do Hondas. He is a Honda specialist. He also is a Mitsubishi Colt specialist, but there are loads of cars that he supplies parts for. He's also on eBay, so if you prefer to use eBay as a platform, just search Dynodaze on there, Dynodaze Performance Parts. So thank you very much, Danny. I appreciate it for everything you've done for me. You're a fantastic lad, and thank you very much, Richard, for fitting these coilovers for me. I know it was a bit of a faff, but we got there in the end, and the car ride's fantastic. I'm really happy with them. I'm so glad I went down this route. Ride's great, looks great. Wind's picking up. I really just wish winter would fuck off. Right, on that note, my brothers and sisters, have a wonderful time. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye bye.